In 2020, we saw that COVID and the rules put in place to stop the virus spreading affected some people more than others. People from different backgrounds, including African, Caribbean, South Asian, Gypsies and Travellers, Roma people, people with learning disabilities, and those living with mental health conditions were hit the hardest in our area. Although lots of people in health and care services had tried to do something about this, community groups told us loud and clear that people wanted us to act now so that everyone has equal access to health and care services. So, we asked Reverend Lloyd Denny, a well-known and trusted faith community leader from Luton, who's interested in healthcare, to help us understand how we could make it better. He led a 3-year review, which we have called the Denny Review. He worked with lots of different people, including public health, universities, local health watch organisations and resident groups, and listened to the experiences of more than 2,000 people. In September 2023, Reverend Denny published what he'd heard. The report told us that we needed to improve in 4 areas. Communication. Reverend Denny told us that sometimes people don't understand the information we share, whether that's because some people speak different languages, because we use words that are too complicated, or because we assume that people already know things which they don't know. He also told us that sometimes the images we use on things like posters and leaflets can put people off and think that services are not for them. Access. We heard that people struggle to access health and care services because there isn't a reliable and easy-to-use service to translate or interpret for people who have a different first language, or are deaf, and need help to access services. You said that appointment times are difficult for people who are working or have caring responsibilities. We've also heard that some of our surgery buildings are old, and there are sometimes issues with people who have a disability getting into buildings. Representation. Reverend Denny told us that we need to make sure that everyone can have their voice heard to influence decisions. He told us that patient participation groups in surgeries don't always reflect the communities they serve. And this makes people feel like the services we run aren't for everyone. Understanding others. And finally, Reverend Denny's report told us that we need to understand our communities better, so that we can make it easier for people to get the help they need and remove barriers that might exist. For example, by changing how we explain things to people when we're talking to them or writing information. We've listened. It was difficult to hear the experience some people have had and the things we didn't get right, but we want to do better. In December 2023, our board met and agreed to act on what we'd heard. 4 councils, 3 hospitals, 2 mental health and community healthcare providers, 89 doctors' surgeries, 25 primary care networks, 2 ambulance service trusts, and the ICB all agreed to work together to change the experience people have for the better. The board asked your local health watch organisations to look at how we can improve our translation and interpretation services, and asked voluntary organisations to explain to local communities how health services work. Non-executive directors from the boards of all partners agreed to visit health and care facilities regularly to find out how changes are being introduced. Lorraine Sanduza, Interim Chief Executive of the East London NHS Foundation Trust, agreed to be a board champion to update the board on the action we have taken to respond to what we've heard. And the ICB agreed to create a team to work with partners to deliver improvements across all the services we run. Residents told us they want us to act now, to create a fairer, more equal health service. We've listened. We will continue to listen to local people. To find out more about how we're responding, visit our website